Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to a city that will soon have a name. That's right, I think we have a name. I really do. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is the two builders, one city, two guys build a city, two friends build a city. I've called it many different things. You are currently watching about 45 minutes of gameplay. I'm gonna double check here real quick. It was 44 minutes and 35 seconds of gameplay that I have shrunk down into 10 minutes through the power of editing with my very expensive editing software. I use Adobe. It's what I learned on when I was a student, and I got the nice student discount back then, and then I'm not a student anymore. I don't get the student discount. Yeah, it's expensive. Anyway, so notes from Destin. He says, so with this build, he wanted to add a higher density neighborhood with a few single family homes. And we caught him. Hold those notes. We caught him. He almost just with the water pipes. You all saw it. Yeah, he's like, oh shit, I'm recording. I better put them under the road where they belong. Busted. Anyway, so where was I? So he wanted to build a higher density neighborhood with a few single family homes. He adds in an additional, there we go, an additional police and fire station, and eventually a cemetery, which is a good thing. You can kind of see there off to the left side of the screen. Cemetery probably definitely necessary. He noticed that the elementary and high school education was getting low, so he added one of each of those as well. And then he also added some landscaping along the collector road to help shield from noise. And that's it. That's all his notes, which is fine. That's what I'm here for, is to do the talking. He does the building, I do the talking, right? Well, I also do some of the building, but we're not going to split hairs. So, yeah, not only have we caught Destin putting water pipes where they don't belong, but I find it... So, I want to be very careful. Let me pause. I do not, at any point in this series, want to be critical of anything that he's built, because that's kind of the point of two people building a city together, is you're gonna get two different styles, two different approaches coming together to make one city. So please understand, I am not being critical when I say this. I do find it amusing, however, that he is just blissfully building away, zoning in residential while the population has dropped 1,000 people due to the death wave. Instead of just addressing the death wave right up front, the residential demand, you can see there in the RCI meters, is barely holding on. And I think, honestly, it's probably not so much the need for more zoned property as it is probably some of the businesses needing more employees. I kind of like what he does here. He's not happy with how his density works out, so he actually comes back in and dezones it and changes it and gets some better density. I'm assuming that's what happened there anyway, but he does get more density with this. What I found really fascinating though is, and I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video, is that I wanted to bring the main street collector that had been going through the city. You can see it right there. The one that just runs from side to side, I guess east-west. I've been wanting to bring that around and kind of curve out by the highway to mirror that highway movement and start kind of shifting the grid and shifting just how everything's oriented to a different plane, to a different angle. And he's kind of gone through and made that a lot easier to do now by having this little neighborhood over here at this angle. I don't know if this is going to follow the highway. As a matter of fact, I can tell it doesn't follow the highway just It's the highway over there. But that's probably what I'm going to do later in this video, is make an effort to build up just some infrastructure. That's my goal for today. And maybe get some population. But I think it's funny, the population continues to dip. And if you look at the bottom, well, not the bottom right, but down there by the little smiley face, looks like he's got the automatic bulldoze tool. 609 buildings, 611 buildings have been, 12 have been demolished. I'm guessing because they were waiting for death care to come pick up the dead people. And even in this new area, there's already a death wave, which is weird in this city because there's no pollution. I've checked. It's not polluted water. It's not a healthcare issue. People just don't live very long in this city. So, I guess we're going to put in childcare to maybe give them a place to get booster shots when they're a kid. But you can see just a lot of blank spaces that were there. We continue to have a few conflicts with assets and things. I think we've got them all sorted out now. But when I loaded up the city, it just instantly, 3,000 people disappeared. I let it run for a while and it has rebounded. In fact, it wound up going to the next milestone without me doing a thing. I didn't touch anything. I just let it run in the background to kind of stabilize. And next thing I know, it was bing, look at that, you got a milestone. So cool. And that should help us with our death care as well, because I think at the milestone that pops up, and we'll look at it here in just about 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure the milestone that I got to allows crematoriums and things like that. So you can walk through the streets with your wagon and your bell, shouting, bring out your dead. In this town, with as many dead people as there are at the moment, I know it's macabre. It's just morbid to make such jokes, but. So anyways, I mentioned earlier that I think we have a name, and I really liked the suggestion of BROSTON County, or maybe it's BROSTON. Brah. It's a brah. But that's the whole idea. It's two bros, not to, I don't know, Destin might be a bro. I mean, he plays Destiny, so I always thought it was odd, Destin playing Destiny. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of a bro game in my opinion, but I don't know, I play GTA, which is kind of a bro game, so whatever. But yeah, so I like it. BROSTON County, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Broston or Broston, like Boston. You gotta say it that way. Either way, I like it, and that's what we're gonna name it. So pretty soon, the TBD will be gone. That'll be the first thing I do when I get into my live gameplay. But what I'm gonna do now is just let the last 45 seconds or so here go by and let you just watch as that happens, and then we'll be in for my build. And here we are, back in the city, and you can see the population did, and like I said, I didn't zone anything, I didn't fix anything, I just let the game run, and we got up to a population of 18,823. That has, of course, presented its own unique issues. One, we have high unemployment, and you can tell that just by looking at the demand for offices and industry. Let's get the city renamed here real quick. BROSTON County. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you. And that's just what we'll call the series from here on out as well. I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything about the death care situation, but I'll double check. Yeah, I did not do anything about it. So what I'm going to do is come through and just add in anywhere that there's a cemetery, that it's not going to obstruct things. Whoops, that's not where I meant to put that. over here in his nice park area, we're going to give him a nicer one, and we're going to let them have a nice luxury hearse. Because my theory is, if you can afford to be frozen, you should be carried away in rolls. However, if you're going to just be burned at the old crematorium, you just get a van. And then I always leave the cemeteries with regular hearses. Why do I do that? I don't know, because I'm strange. Leave me alone. That's the only reason I can think of. And I don't know that I've got room over here. I don't. We'll just put it right there. And that will take care of death care now in case anything should happen. We've got 1322 there, almost late. 2454 there, so that one will be full soon. And 2384 there, so that one will be full soon. I think I may have done some stuff with the school just to add something. I think it upgraded. I may have just added the building. However, with the milestones come some policies, and I am going to quickly increase the area of his neighborhood of Valley Hills here, simply because I don't know what he would want to do. I typically do not use high density buildings in my builds until I reach the big city milestone. The reason being, the big city milestone, I think it's big city milestone. Which one is it? Maybe it was back here. Oh, it's small city. Okay, it's a small city. Where I could do a high-rise band. So it's been that way for a while, but I never enacted it. And he didn't either. And I don't know that he really meant to have just this abrupt transition. I mean, we've got single-family homes with a skyscraper just a block away. But I'm going to make it so that he can change that if he wants to on his own. So I'm going to pause. For the city as a whole, I am going to enable the high-rise ban, but then I'm going to come into his neighborhood and disable it. And you can see, this is District Policy Valley Hills. If I click outside of Valley Hills, it's just city policies. No high-rise ban, high-rise ban. No high-rise ban, high-rise ban. So that way his high-rises will stay, and if he wants to really keep them, he can do so. I am also going to enable the 4 controversial ones. These 2 benefit commercial that does cost, but you sell more. This one produces more goods by ignoring some safety laws. And this one gives you increased land value. And you can see that increase in land value when I unpause here. You'll see it there. Little wave. You might have missed it. But it does help in my... Oh, got another little wave. So you're going to do another little wave. But what happens is you wind up getting a lot of upgrading taking place, which we may not really want. Because we've already got too many people. And let's see, why aren't you upgrading? Educate more citizens. Is our pipeline... Ooh. Yeah. He said he added more schools, and he did. He did indeed add more schools. But we still don't have enough. So I'm going to use a little bit of the space in this area that he's built to add in another elementary school at least here. Ooh, and water is a problem now? What? Okay, maybe not. What was that about? Like, did the river dry up? Oh, our straws aren't dipping into the water. I know they're not straws. So maybe what we do just to resolve that is grab this and move it forward some. Deeper into the water. I said the word forward. Really strange there. And then make sure those still have power. I don't think they do. They don't. Oh, they do? They do. Okay. They're just close enough to the road. By moving them a little bit more forward, we're deeper into the channel of the water now. It looks like they're just sitting in the water, which is fine. The water pumps. They can sit in the water. Nothing bad could possibly happen from that. So, I thought that was my school. I wanted to look over here and see. We're so many academic works away that it's not really going to pay off. However, we are making banks, so what I'm going to do is crank up the amount that we're giving to the school. So as I mentioned, I want to come in here and bring this collector this way without just making an intersection. I just want to curve it down here. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to bring it down just past where he has all his stuff. And then I'm going to switch out of that and come into our parallel road tool. I can sometimes say that word. I'm going to come pretty far back, and I want that on the other side. And then I just want to bring this over until it gets all the way up by where that line is that I just drew. So this may take a minute. So I make this go faster. Change height, underground, creation side, enter. Nope. Shift, X10 control times 01, Alt. X times 0.01. So if I hold shift, it goes faster? No, I just made it only go underground. Shh. What? I don't understand shift control. Yeah, I have no idea what that means, so we'll just let it move all the way out here. We're almost at 300 meters. And we're close to where I want it. I just want to come over here and kind of eyeball it now. And just bump it up until the medians overlap, which is right there. And yeah, that leaves us enough space there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And then just to clean this up, first things first is it's now at a weird elevation. So I'm going to grab the marquee tool and just grab all of this. It's fine that I'm getting nodes and trees and everything else. Wow, those nodes are really far apart. And we're just going to come in here and real quick align all that to train height. Though that didn't seem to move all that much to train height. Odd that this end just kind of stayed up, but that's fine. There we go. Cool. Cool. That makes me happy. And then we'll just fix this end down here. I will come in and just kind of take off these little bits that are here. Back that out just a little bit more. Back that out just a little bit more. And then we will once again allow the mod to finish this off for us with a nice curve. And now that somewhat mirrors that highway out there, we can build off in that direction and get another interchange in here, which I think is incredibly important. This keeps getting just unbelievably backed up. As you can see, it's our only way in and out. I mean, we've made the city a cul-de-sac, and that's never good. So despite the fact that we are really close to this interchange that connects the two highways, I am going to put in a small interchange right here. And to do that, I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to back it off as far back this way as I can get away with. So basically where this starts going straight. And we're just going to delete the straight bits of the highway and part of the curvy bits apparently too. And then because I suck at building interchanges, we're just going to come in here. We don't want a system interchange. No, we do want a system interchange. No, we want a service interchange. The problem is I don't have too many service interchanges. I have this one that connects the highway to a regular road network. Most of them have connection on both sides. That might be my only one. Yeah, well, I've got this thing, but this is weird. I don't know how I feel about it. I always get very conflicting feelings when I see it. Just the way it funnels the highway traffic up into a stop, I don't really like. I just don't like it. So it looks like I have one choice. I could use this. That's an option. And not a bad one at that, honestly. If I could get it to line up. Stop it. Stop it. Actually, I would want it to line up with that right there so that we're going to get a nice straight bit should I decide to do the grid and then immediately mess it up because I let it get connected to other roads. Oh, no, it's still fine. So if we put that there, is it still lined up? Yep. Okay, no matter what I do to try to break it being aligned, it stays aligned. Neat. Cool. So I'm going to try to anarchy. I'm just going to anarchy it. And I just want to test and make sure that that is still a pretty straight line here. I don't know why I bothered going all the way to dirt roads. It's straight enough for me. There's that option. And I think that's our best option given our space constraints here. I think if I went with the other one I was looking at, then where did it go? I think that would carry out. Well, actually, that's not bad, and we could do a roundabout there. I think I kind of like it a little bit better. So I'm gonna, change my mind. Do-over. If only there was a term that described a do-over that wasn't already constantly used by somebody else. Who I greatly respect. Not dissing the guy. So this I definitely want to try to get lined up straight to that road over there. And I don't really know a good way to go about doing that. I can tell that's not it. So... and this is going to be off no matter what to something like... no, I can already tell that's not straight. Straight enough? I think it's straight enough. What we can do, though, is this. Take this back out. I know I'm putting things in and deleting them, but there's method to my madness, because now I can see if we're straight to that as well. But this road's not straight. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Let's do that. Do that. And then bring this out now nice and straight, those 4 segments. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's 4 segments. And if not, it's good enough. That'll still let me... yeah, see, it's snapping out of that road nicely. And I would rather have it snap there than here on the highway. I can fix the highway, which we're going to now do because we should have a nice clean connection here now. So if I just grab a 4-lane and upgrade all this, which looks like we've got a little bit of something happening there. Ah, that's what was happening there. Okay. Oh, we just lost all our road markings. Awesome. Come on. You can connect. Trust me. There is a road there. What is that going to delete? That makes me nervous. Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to delete. It's all right. We got this. We got this. We can fix it. I hope. If not, we'll just put it back again. So where is that supposed to go? What? I am so confused. Right now, I utterly and totally confused. Is that how that's supposed to work? You can tell I don't build custom highways. Oh my gosh, that's how that was supposed to work, really? That's neat. We'll fix this up here in a minute. Let's get our highway connected real quick. And again, we're just going to use the mod to do that for us. There we go. That's got us connected. Now, all I want to do is come back here. Though, honestly, do we need to do anything about this hill? I don't think we do. I think it's going to be okay. Just the way the ramps work, they're not strangely shaped. I don't think they're going any higher than they would have. We do have some floating cars, and that's awesome. Yeah, I think we're fine. So I just want to bring in not some lane markings, but some lane connectors here real quick. Ah, okay, something's broken. Oh, no, it's not. It just didn't find it on its own. That's peculiar. So to there. Okay, so it sees that one when I'm doing that. But then it doesn't see it here. Oh. Hi. Okay, so you're... No? What? Okay, something's definitely wrong here. All right. We're going to mulligan the mulligan here and do this one more time. Cool, we got there in the end. That's kind of all that really matters is traffic on the highway is like, wait a minute, I'm not really sure what's happening there. Cool, so that gets us the infrastructure project that I wanted to do. I'm not sure how I feel about how this corner is meeting up with this neighborhood. We'll deal with that later. As I like to say, that's a problem for future, Brandon. I also am not sure how much I like that this tees in like this. I don't know that that was really my plan, but for now, I think this will help. So traffic coming in from this highway or wanting to go out this way can now use this interchange. And I think it will provide some relief over here. We should see that happening hopefully very soon. God, I really wish we had all those academic works because we have the students. And I just know that once we have all the academic works, we're not going to have the students anymore. But that is going to be a road we have to cross when we get there. So now we have an unemployment crisis, I bet. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And the only way we're going to meet that is through adding in some offices and some other higher density uses. I was going to start building a farm today, but one, I'm running low on time. I hate to record when I know I don't have a ton of time, but that's just kind of my situation right now, and it will be like that. I eventually want to build a farm out here, and I'm going to use the resource brush to take care of that. In fact, I'm going to, before it gets claimed for anything else, I am going to just, ooh, Elizabeth, she's back. I wonder if she's back from Pine Pass. There we go. We're going to do that, and I'm going to call this clearly a farm. There we go. That is clearly a farm. That way, there's no doubt about what's going to go there. So, I don't typically do this in my cities, but actually, that's not true. I do this all the time. I'm going to redevelop right after I fix... How did I miss that one road? Whatever. I never did finish putting paths in either. We're going to redevelop pretty significantly here. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of this. We're gonna get rid of probably all of this right here, and let that kind of cease to exist, and then see what we're gonna do with that land next. And wow, I just noticed we are not getting any relief on the traffic at all. Not at all. That is really disappointing. I was convinced that adding this was going to be the thing that saved traffic for now, at least. I really thought it was. I thought we were onto something here. That's 45. These are 45. Is this going absurdly slow? I can speed that up. We can make the ramps faster. That might make them a little more appealing, but I doubt it. Also, I don't know why the game defaults to such a slow... Okay, I thought I clicked that. To such a slow highway speed. I don't like it. In fact, I'm just going to hit this default button right here and just boom. Make them all 75, and now they're all 75 everywhere, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So hopefully that's a little more appealing to go that way now. Instead of everything coming through here. I don't know. But what I do know is we've got big demand. Why is this moving so much? I'm using a different mouse than I normally use, and I'm just not... It's a little more sensitive than the mouse I normally use. So yeah, we still have big unemployment. What we also have is people moving out. We don't want that. We want people to stay. So we are going to quickly remedy that problem, and I'm going to put in some commercial, not a lot. Just like that's it, probably. Maybe, yeah, we'll do a little bit more over here, and then we're going to do some offices, lots and lots of offices, just to get this all connected. And honestly, I should leave a gap right there and there. Did that leave a gap? It left a gap. And then we are going to just go hog wild on offices here. A lot more than I normally would. In fact, I would normally not build this many offices this close together. But I think we kind of need it. But what it's also going to give me is the opportunity to finally bring in some mass transit. We have none. The city's nearly 20,000 people. So let's do it. Let's find a place for a bus garage, which there's not really anywhere good over here. I usually like to just chuck it over into industry because, well, it's not going to bother anybody over there, but we'll just put it there. That's fine. I'll redo that path real quick here, just so we maintain our pedestrian connectivity through this area. There, they can just walk around the back of the bus station, bus depot. But what this is going to do is give us a nice little place to put in a hub for some buses. And I really like the compact bus station that came with the pedestrians DLC. It gives you 4 little stations, or 4 little stops. That's really all we need now. We can do 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 bus lines, and have a nice central hub that they all come back to, and get people riding the bus, and hopefully get them to and from work. So I'm going to put in 4 bus lines while these offices fill in, and then we're going to take a look and see where we need to go from there. Cool, that gets us 4 bus lines. Not gonna lie, this area was a little complicated. Maybe in the future, Hawthorne Hills can join something that's over here, and this can join something that's back there. We don't have direct access to the trade school just yet, but I'm not too terribly concerned about that. Traffic coming in isn't as heavy, but we still have issues here. So let's look at doing something about it. I've already done the thing I was going to do. Awesome. Great. Same there. Oh, not quite the same there. We can do that. That'll help some. Not much. Do the same thing there. Even though there's not any problems right there at the moment. Anything we can do to get it flowing will be helpful. Especially now that the buses are going to be crossing over here. Going out this way, not as big of a concern, getting to that neighborhood. Same going over the bridge and coming back. And this neighborhood's fine, but they do have to cross here. So this intersection being backed up could be a problem for the buses. I am a bit concerned about it. Unemployment is now down where I like it to be. We did get quite a few upgrades here, and I bet a lot of this is still saying needs to be covered by more services. I wonder exactly what services they're lacking. Let's take a look. So they have no death care over here, so I bet they'd be really happy to have that. So let's see if we can't get them going ring-a-ding-ding here with that. Is that enough? Are you happy with death care? Was that the service you wanted? No. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe death care was all it was. What if I told you your death care comes in a plain 40 counter line? You're still happy about that, except that one guy's like, no, I'm burning it down. Ironic, eco-friendly, on fire. I don't think it's very eco-friendly to spew your entire building into ash, sir. Oh, okay, never mind. Fire department took care of it. We still have a few that are... Educate more citizens. Oh, that one's fine now. This one, building needs to be covered by more services. You gonna change your mind about that? Or are you steadfast you need more services? You're steadfast. Healthcare, not What, just not? It doesn't exist back here. Boom. Healthcare? Is that the service you all crave? It's the service he craved. What about you? Come on. Come on. I know you say educate more citizens, but what I know you really mean is we really want a clinic nearby. No? Okay. He means it. He means it. We've got good fire coverage out here, and we've got good police coverage out here, so, well, decent back there is kind of not the best, but we do have our academic works. I'm going to slow that on down. And we are very, very near the student numbers, so I'm going to do my usual spamming of statues and get this up to 1,800. Though, the next building is a fairly long boy. Where do I want to put that? Probably over here somewhere, so we'll just spam these up here. Or maybe we could put it back there. Yeah, I don't know. It might fit here. I doubt it, though. We'll just here. This road can have a bunch of statues. Did I get us to 1,800? That did it. 1734, 1736. 34 again on our student population. So we do have our offices. It looks like most of them are upgraded. Yeah, everything's at its highest number of jobs that it's going to have. Same over here. These are all just limited because of the high-rise band. So what I want to do is just kind of have a bit of high density on this side, just to make that transition between our low density and our high density that's along our main corridor there. So let's let that grow in and see what unemployment looks like, as well as what that does for our trade school. So I'm just going to let that run for a moment. And wouldn't you know it, just as I'm sitting here waiting for things to happen, we're suddenly low on power again. Ooh, and I really don't have a good place to put another power plant, so I'm going to just cheese one in. Again, not something I would normally do, but power isn't my main concern right now, and I don't want to give this back to Destin with an essential city service lacking. So we're pretty good everywhere else. I'm looking forward to getting to 22,000 people. Get some better garbage service going there. There we go. That has all filled in nicely. It is, however, not yet upgraded, but we have grown quite a bit. That does not do much for our school, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that it would. We're not being held up in the pipeline, so we just don't have enough people ready to go to school. That should increase now that we've got more residents, but I kind of want to do a mirror on this side of what we did on that. And by that, I mean I want to dezone and repurpose some things. And I think it might help ease the transition into these higher or taller buildings. So I'm going to pause while I do this, and let's take out, here we did 1, 2, just 3 blocks. So let's do the same here. So 1, 2 to here. Let's just boop that all out of existence. Let that all deconstruct. And that's nearly everybody gone, so that's enough for me to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to bring in, I'm going to go ahead and do density next to that park. It'll be all right. Get all of this zoned back in, except for that little line right there. Never that little line right there. And then up by the road, oh God. Do I really want to put more commercial off this road? I kind of do. So I'm going to do it. I may regret it. We don't have the huge demand for jobs now, though. So I don't need to do as much in the way of offices. We are still going to put in a fair few, though, just to kind of future-proof our job pool. So that might help here, but I don't know. Oh, no, so we dropped 300 by losing all these people. I don't know that we're going to rebound in time, but at least we're saving money now. We've got our academic works, we've got our attractiveness. So once our population finally gets there, we can get this up to a 5-star. So let's just watch real quick as this area begins to fill in, and hopefully this area over here does some upgrading and everybody sits in bumper to bumper traffic all down Main Street. So we have a huge amount of residential demand, no office demand, and just a little bit of commercial, and yet we have unemployment. You would think these guys would be... How do we have unemployment if... What? Well-educated. We've got plenty of educated and well-educated people in town. Like, that's... Yeah, we've got plenty that fit these jobs. So why the discrepancy of not enough workers and yet unemployment? I don't know. Last thing I want to look at before we wrap it up. I noticed one thing. I would assume Destin's TMPE has automatically adding traffic lights, because if you look over here where he built, there's traffic lights everywhere, which is fine. I'm not against traffic lights, I just don't usually use them. But there's not one there. That may be because he connected, maybe I had already built that road. There's one there. There's not one there. I already had that road in. There's not one there where I already had a road in. But I don't know if I added this road or if he did. I know he added that road. I saw him do it in the video. But what I want to look at is where our buses are crossing, which is just right here, thankfully. So they are coming back this way, though. I wish there was a way to... I could put a stop down here to force them to come up through this neighborhood. And I may do that. We're going to, like, bring this first stop just in an arbitrary place there. And the second stop in an arbitrary place there. At least that way they're not going out there and dealing with all of that nonsense. And then right here on this road, since they're having trouble getting through to get over here to the bus station, I'm going to put in a time traffic light. I'm just going to let it auto set up for now. And I want to look here real quick. So if you... This is in the way. If you control click, it does one setup, but if you control alt click, it does a different one. I wonder what the difference between the two is. I don't really know. I'm just going to watch it go through one time and see if I can spot the difference. Okay, so we're going to stop it. We're going to remove it, and we're going to completely get rid of it just to be sure there's nothing. And then we're going to control alt click this time. Control alt click. So what's the difference? Ah, dedicated lefts versus straight ons. Yeah, I think I prefer the other one a little bit better. If I'm being honest. Yeah, I like the other one better. So, last time, done set. Cool, and it is letting people make their protected rights, so that's all well and good. And then we're gonna do the other part of the last thing I'm gonna check on, which is to see utilization on our bus lines, and just to be sure we don't have people getting left behind, or if they are, that there's another bus shortly behind it coming up like here. I want to see if they get all of these people. They did. Everybody, people that were on the bus pretty much cut off. So line number 1 looking swell. Line number 2 could use some help. Basically, we've got 130 people at our peak that are not getting picked up. We have 11 buses, so that's really only like 15 people max per bus that we need to increase. So if we go up to like a double-decker, that should be fine on that one. On this line, this is the one that goes over there, isn't it? Yeah. This one's going to be a lot more difficult to judge simply because it crosses the road and gets stuck in traffic, so the buses don't unbunch properly. But because of that, we've got 160 some odd there. We've got almost 300 there. So if we added 20 more capacity to every bus, that would give us another 260 seats, which would be enough. But we don't have a bus that has just 50. We only have 60s and 60s. Well, we do have that, but I don't want an articulated bus because it sticks out of the station. I wish we had one that was in the 50s that wasn't articulated. So I'm going to go with that double-decker just for some variety, so we're not using the exact same bus everywhere. And then here, wow, Destin is getting a lot of riders. So we've got 18 buses, 300 people waiting to ride that bus. And as I just casually grab my phone because I can't do that math in my head, let's just say 300 divided by 18. That's only 16 more capacity that we need. But again, I don't want to do an articulated bus because it sticks its booty out of there. So we're going to go double-decker on that one as well. And then let's just go back up to this one and see and make sure we're still good there. And we are. Cool. So that should get us some transit. That should, yeah, it looks like our employment situation has sorted itself out, but not our school situation, which is kind of sad. We're just on the threshold of elementary and high schools, but we should be fine. Hopefully, as these people start coming through high school and elementary, we'll get over here to the college and get a little bit better and maybe get that upgraded. I am a little bit more okay with how all the high-rises look now that we've got some density, but not quite high density. And some of these buildings will get even bigger as time goes on. Not all of them, but some of them will. And that should help us make a better transition. We still have a rather abrupt transition there, but that's Destin's problem. He built it, not me. So I'm going to leave it there, though I am going to let the game run for probably half an hour or so just to let everything get fully upgraded before I hand it back over to Destin. But I hope you enjoyed this. It has been my pleasure to bring this series to you and to get to work with Destin in building the city. And of course, next time I'll be back. Actually, you know what? I may just hand it back to him after this one instead of me doing two. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to hand it back to him so that the next video will have some more of his builds as well. But until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.